What kind of records did you listen to?
As a young person, I had a very. Are you talking about you?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Just growing
okay.
up.
Growing up, I had a real strong liking of classical music. And the very first record I ever bought was Theme from a Summer Place by Percy Faye. It was a movie music.
Movie music?
Mm-hmm. It was the very first record I ever bought.
What kind of record player did you have?
We had a box record player that played 78, 33, and 45, depending upon the little attachment that you would place over the spindle.
Cool. Were you allowed to play the record player whenever you wanted, or was it kind of like something you had to ask for permission for?
I'd make sure it was okay. I mean, as far as if someone wasn't listening to something else or reading or studying or doing something that it would interfere with. But yes, generally, whenever I wanted.
Whenever you wanted. Was it like in the living room or the family area so everybody could listen to it?
In the family area.
Did you ever eventually get one, like, say, for your own room in case you were hanging out in there? Or
No.
never? How did you find out about new music that was coming out?
Radio.
Radio? What were some of the other top albums you can kind of remember getting into?
Oh, crying. One of the first ones was listened to, danced to, was Rock Around the Clock. I can remember being in the neighbor's house. Their daughter was a couple years younger than me, and she got it, bought it, and we were just a bunch of kids dancing around in our living room. Later on, in junior high school, I would come home, and just about that time, American Bandstand would come on TV. And boy, you wanted to be home from school by then. Because not only could you listen to it, so often they had the actual performers there doing music. And you could see all the kids having fun dancing.
That was a pretty big deal too, huh?
It
To
was
start
very
seeing
big.
people on the TV dancing away.
Yes, it was, and you could just be dancing in your living room. Oh, it was cool. You got to know the people, the dancers' names, and which of them were couples, and when they break up. I mean, sort of like Hollywood gossip mags now.
That's funny, like reality TV almost.
Yeah.
So how do you think it influenced you? Did it like inspire you in any ways? The music you listened to?
It was consoling. It was comforting.
I was writing comforting down.
Yeah, exactly. Consoling, comforting. It was so different from my first love of classical music, but I didn't dump my first love of classical music. I mean, Bach, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Brahms. Loved all of those. But this was new and happening now that all my friends could relate to.
Yeah, dancing music.
Dancing music.
Did your children listen to record devices too, or was it kind of like a new era for them listening to more of like the 8-tracks and stuff?
By the time they came along, which was they were born in the early 70s, it was funny. They got a kick out of the fact that I enjoyed their music and stayed up with their music. They appreciated my music, and I introduced them to classical music.
Did how was the atmosphere as far as if you wanted to listen to like a recording device? Would you guys have, say, a boombox in the house, or would you still have a record player in the house, or was it like a cassette
By
player?
the time they were probably 10 years old, we didn't have a record player in the house. Everything was...
So I wasn't really listening to music anymore at home together.
Oh, well, Denise had a stereo in her room.
Okay.
Darren had, a boombox or better in his bedroom. He liked to listen to hard rock. She was more into the music, the soft rock of the day. And
So it was
her-
boom boxes, huh?
yeah, they each had, Denise's was a little bit bigger than Darren's, and she tended to take better care of things than he
That's
did.
what I hear.
Yeah, so,
funny.
it was easier to spend a little bit more money for hers when his units never
So was he
needed.
would they mostly listen to the radio to listen to rock, or would they have like the cassette tapes?
They mostly listened to their own radio stations. We didn't have a lot of money to go out and buy the
Cassettes.
stuff, yeah.
Got it.